FAR Limited has acquired 2 offshore exploration blocks off the coast of the Gambia in West Africa. These 2 blocks are immediately adjacent to and on trend with the billion-barrel SNE field which FAR discovered in 2014. I'm here with FAR Limited Managing Director Kath Norman to talk about this new farm-in deal. Kath, the SNE discovery has attracted the interest of the world's major oil companies. The offshore Mauritania, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau basin is clearly now one of the world's exploration hotspots. So how did little FAR manage to pull off such a successful deal right under the nose of all the world's oil majors?
What a fantastic deal it is, Ian. We're really excited about farming into the A2 and A5 blocks in the Gambia. Only a kilometre south of the SNE field that we now have 7 wells into, and of course Cosmos have drilled 4 successful wells to the north. It's an area that's no longer an immature area. It's starting to become a bit more mature, and indeed we are seeing a lot of majors in and around us. If I could take you back to 2013, when we farmed out to Ken and then 4 months later to ConocoPhillips, Ken Energy paid US dollars $1.38 per percentage point in the joint venture. And then only 4 months later, we farmed out to ConocoPhillips for $2.86 a percentage point in the joint venture. So the deal doubled in that 4-month period. We're really happy with the fact that we've been able to farm into Erin's acreage to the south for 50 cents per percentage point. It's a spectacular deal for FAR and one we just had to do. How did little FAR beat the big companies to it? Well, most companies nowadays will not farm in for a well unless there is 3D seismic coverage over an acreage position. And Erin shot the 3D seismic in 2015 and it was only available really for interpretation in the last quarter of last year. So we'd been talking to Erin for about 3 years now and forming a good relationship with them, and we locked them up in an exclusivity deal for a few months, and the deal we've struck now is the result of locking them up in the exclusivity and then striking a great agreement.
So what makes these 2 blocks so attractive, and what is the prospectivity of this area?
Prospectivity is phenomenal. Of course, having the SNE field just to the north is very important for us. As you've seen from some of the maps we've released, since we drilled our last couple of wells, in particular the SNE5 well, where we flowed the S460 reservoir, we could make interpretations of SNE that pushed the field to the north and encompassed our Sirius and Speaker prospects. If we take that S460 and a couple of the upper reservoirs that we've seen in all the wells we've drilled into SNE to date, and we look at the S440 and some of the upper reservoirs, you can actually extend or map those reservoirs closing to the south in the Gambia. And indeed the prospect we've mapped there is called Summer, is the main prospect covered by the 3D, and it sits at volumetrically at about 500 million barrels on a P50 basis. So it's a big one if it comes in.
The deal you've struck with Erin Energy has a gross cost, if you like, of around US $40 million.
Yes.
What are FAR's funding options to finance that deal?
Well, one of the great things about getting an 80% foothold in this acreage and also rights to operate, which is very important, is that it gives us the flexibility now with percentage equity to be able to farm down. And we'll be looking to do that in the coming 18 months before we drill a well. From the outset, there's a bit over $5 million US we need to pay Erin to capture the farm-in, and that's not payable until government approval, that we don't see an issue with. We actually had a meeting with the new president of Gambia last Friday, and he's incredibly supportive of this deal. So we expect government approval to come in the next few weeks, and then that money will be owing. But of course that's not going to break the bank for us. The $40 million for the well is not due to be paid until we drill, and we'll be aiming to offload some of the risk of that expenditure by farming down.